Good morning, my friends, on this wonderful Saturday morning. Well, to be honest with you, the morning is not that wonderful because it's been very windy throughout the biggest part of the night and also this morning. And guess what? When I got up this morning and I looked through the kitchen window, when I pulled up the blinds, I realized that some of the laundry has been blown off the line. So I had to go outside and put it back on the line. But thankfully it wasn't dirty at all because the lawn is quite clean, And that's about it, my friends. I'm having my morning coffee. Cheers. That's my kickstart for the day. And for my money, coffee is the best drink to get a good kickstart to your day. If you feel a bit sluggish or run down, obviously they say that caffeine is not the best substance for your body. And if you consume a lot of caffeine throughout the day, that you do some damage to your heart, but considering I'm staying quite healthy and fit, I exercise regularly, and I don't drink alcohol, considering all that, I think that coffee doesn't do me much harm, Cheers, my friends. For my money, it's one of the best energy drinks out there. I don't consume any other drinks containing caffeine, those, what do you call them? Red Bull drinks and the likes of those drinks, I don't drink them because it's said that they actually contain an awful lot more caffeine and God knows what else. So they do real damage to your heart. And if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, but some people have actually died after consuming loads of those energy drinks, probably after a night out, and it's not a good thing for your heart. That's one thing I'm quite sure about, But anyway, today's expression is for my money, and as you may have noticed, I've actually used this phrase a couple times throughout this video already, and for my money simply means in my opinion, simple as. And when I came across this phrase in the book I was reading at that time, I thought it means I bet, because the context was the following. They were thinking where the villain is the bad guy, right? They were thinking where he might be hidden, the human settlement near the lake. They were all kids, and there was this monster. He was part boy, part monster, he was a mutant, and he had his arm cut off, and then instead of his arm, he had a whip, like a long tentacle, and he could use that tentacle as a whip. It was like 3 meters long or something, and then when he was walking around, he had that whip wrapped all around him, and then he could unwrap it within a matter of seconds, and then he could basically kill people with that whip, right? And that monster boy was lurking somewhere up on the hill, so those people guessed. And then one of the main characters in the book, she said, she was a girl, right? And she said, for my money, Drake is in those caves. And the boy's name was Drake, and she says, for my money, Drake's in those caves. And from that context, I kind of figured that expression for my money means I bet, because she sounded quite certain, and she had ruled out any other options. So she said, I bet Drake's in those caves. That's what I thought for my money means. But it turns out it actually means in my opinion. And in that particular context, I wasn't far away, I guessed quite right. And it doesn't really matter what that phrase actually means, whether it means I bet he's in those caves or in my opinion he's in those caves, It's pretty much the same thing. But when it comes to learning that phrase and actually using it later on, I guess I have to be a little bit more certain about what that phrase actually means, So I went online this morning, checked it out, and the freedictionary.com website tells me that for my money means in my opinion. And from now on, I will know for sure that I can say for my money, and then I'll say whatever else needs to be said, but I'll just replace this phrase for my money with, in my opinion, simple as. And by the way, there is another phrase which can substitute the phrase in my opinion, and is the following. In my book, And I came across this one a couple months ago, and when I came across this phrase and I looked it up, and then I realized that in my book simply means in my opinion, I thought, wow, I'd never heard this one before. And guess what? The next day, my work colleague used that phrase, although previously I could have sworn that I had never ever heard that phrase being used here in Ireland, where I've been living for more than 10 years now, so there you go. It figures, it just goes to show that sometimes you might probably skip some new vocabulary, some new expressions, and they don't really register with you. But then when you get to know them, then all of a sudden you start hearing them mentioned all around the place. And by the way, I have made a video about this subject, so you may want to check it out. Click on that link there, right? And for my money, all such and similar idiomatic expressions I'm learning currently, as part of my 50 American phrase acquisition mission, in my opinion, or for my money, they're the best means of expression you can possibly use, because they're very friendly, they're easy to use, easy to learn, easy to memorize. Within a matter of weeks, you can actually learn dozens upon dozens of such expressions, and you will emerge so much more fluent down the line. And it remains to be seen how effectively I can use all these phrases when the 25 days are over, because I committed to learn 50 new expressions within 25 days, and I'm almost halfway through this particular mission. And yeah, that's about it. That's my today's video, my friends, or to be more specific, this morning video. I'm going to record another one in the evening, and I'm going to post it on my other website, accentadventure.com, where I'm going to be speaking with a more American accent than I'm doing now. Currently, I do sound somewhat similar to American accent, but in my evening videos, I'm doing all my best to sound almost like an American. Basically, I'm contributing all my effort, expertise, and skills to work on my American accent, sound like an American, and even bring it up to the next level, and the next level is obviously speaking just like a native speaker. And probably it's a mission impossible, but for my money, if you don't want something badly, and if you don't go for it, you will never achieve it. Simple as, So thanks for watching this video, my friends, and see you soon again. Bye-bye.